Cool. Thank you.
Thank you.
Yeah, just tightening it. All right, you ready? 27 rounds. It comes down to 1 week, which was last week. Welcome to the award show of the Supercoach Experience podcast. I'm your host, Brandon Savage, the coach of the Jamin Salmons. We join you one last time for the Supercoach season to present our awards. I'm joined by the best panel on the earth. Someone whose season replicates the South Sydney Rabbitohs, Tim Moody. How are you, Timmy?
Woo! Glory to the Villy Army. Yeah, I'm pretty good, man. Glad that there's no points to be had this weekend and just some enjoyable finals footy.
Does it feel like a massive weight off your back?
Oh, it's done and dusted now. I can just be angry at 2023 and have that as a reason to make me hungry to get back where I belong.
That's it. We can start fresh. And for the first time in the DM podcast studio, forgot the memo, but he's got his tie. Jake, the coach of Kiss My Behinds. How are you, Jake?
Good. Yeah, it's first time in here. I like the setup.
It's cozy.
Intimate.
It's
Very
like,
intimate.
Intimate, yes. As Timmy's here with pretty much no pants on. But yeah, my season, like Timmy's, it emulates one of the teams that didn't make the finals.
I think my season, very similar to your guys' season, didn't make the top 1,000. I was in the top 100 all year. I would say mine's more like a Manly Jersey Gate last year. Not quite the
There was definitely some issues going on at your club. Like, you were making good decisions all year, but there was something like, behind the doors that we can't all see, which is, I don't know, were you having any problems with the week go to dog or anything like that?
The players were just off the boys. The players were just off the coach. And I think...
You're training too hard, were you?
I think for a little...
Bulldogs.
Making them wrestle and shit, yeah.
For a little bit. I didn't have Jamin Salmon up on the wall, so I think that was a bad omen, just not having him up on the wall. There were some weeks where you weren't here, and usually you bring in the things every week. I brought mine in this week because I need good luck for next season. But the weeks you weren't here, I just wouldn't put it up, and I think that was a bad omen.
The doggies stealing all our mascots, hey? Villy Army, now the week go to dog.
I know. We're going to be Bulldog supporters by the end of the year. Jake, how'd your season finish up?
It kind of just fizzled the last half. It finished all right, actually, the last couple of rounds. I think I ended up finishing just outside the top 5K, but overall, pretty disappointing season.
Timmy, yourself, where'd you end up?
13,300.
So you went down again.
Yeah, well, of course I went down again. I had the worst score of pretty much the whole Podmasters Cup, which is a nice thing to get tagged in. And I was like, oh, what's this? Yeah, you're the worst.
Oh, I have friends. Oh, no, you're the worst.
Yeah, that's right. So, yeah, it was what it was. I think I had 9 players, maybe went down to 8 with Sony Luke not taking the field. Miserable score, 700.
I thought I had a pretty good score. I had 975, had 15 players or something. Captain Cleary, nice updates. But went up 9 spots. So didn't crack the top 2,000. I finished the year 2,000th. Pretty disappointing considering where I was at the start of the year. But we did talk about it a couple of weeks ago. I'd prefer to be doing that and making hot moves, making hot cracks, and just learn from it. Instead of ponding around the top 100 and maybe do it again next year, not regret what I was doing.
Well, every year's a different beast anyway.
Exactly. You got to adapt every year.
I'll be stoked if I can get anywhere near there again. So.
But today, we're going through our award show. You can see we're dressed up in suit and tie. And yes, we're changing it up. I'm on this side. They're on that side. You might not notice, but it feels good on this side.
Flipping the script.
You get my good side with my fringe. On the other side, you get my balding spots and all that sort of business. But today, we're going to do the award show. We've got a lot of awards to go out. We're going to vote each player, each category, and then the final decision is going to come down to the fan vote, which was on Instagram yesterday. Put them out throughout the day yesterday. But firstly, finals, week 1. What are our predictions? Timmy, I put a TikTok up with our ladder predicted that we did last week.
Yeah.
We got 8 from 8 in the tips that
The
we.
first one round.
Yeah.
I was thinking that
Yeah.
after I was thinking that seems pretty similar to the way we.
Yeah, we got
Yeah.
8 from 8, and
Nice.
up on
In
TikTok.
a week where I didn't want to have a punt and couldn't think of a
Yeah,
winner,
I know.
probably should have had a bit more of a go.
Put it up on TikTok, 15,000 views, so people looked at it and possibly agreed. And the video pretty much ended with me going back and saying...
Being smug?
No, me going back and saying, I think Newcastle get there.
Okay.
With Penrith. So interesting to see how that plays out. Jake, did you happen to see it? Because you don't see them short
video.
ones on Instagram and TikTok,
No,
eh?
I missed this one, no.
So let's start with you then. Who's your prediction for the grand final? And this week, just give us a quick rundown. Who you like?
I think Penrith are morals to win this week, and I think to make it to the grand final, whether they win or not, I don't know. I think the only team that can upset them is the Broncos. I think the way that Reece Walsh plays can upset Penrith. We saw when Penrith versus Parramatta a couple of weeks ago, just that quick side-to-side sort of game, offloads. I think Brisbane are a team that can do it, especially on the back of Walsh. I'm wearing Sharks, but if we somehow go anywhere close, if we win this week, I consider that an accomplishment. So I don't see us going too far. I think there's probably only 3 teams that realistically I can see making it. It kind of depends on who wins this week out of the Broncos and the Storm to who then makes it.
That's it. Do you want to, guys, put your headphones on? And Timmy, you still with the Penrith and Waz is what you wanted?
For the final?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, look, that can happen. It is an option. But yeah, I think Penrith and Broncos is the grand final that will be really, really juicy for everyone to enjoy. If the Waz can make it, it's going to be huge hype. Like there's, let's ride that train. And I'm cheering them along with my own side. It's just it's a great train to be on.
All right. We have a special guest coming on. So if you're watching on the podcast, bear with us for a second and we will get our guest on right now.
Hello?
Hello, Sam.
Yeah, mate.
Hey, how are you? You're on the podcast.
Hey, champ. How are you?
I'm joined by Timmy and Jake. Jake, this is Sam, coach of Wolfpac, who was first all year.
Congratulations on a good season, brother.
The champion, mate. Terrible hacking, but
so you were ahead at number 1 from round 12, I want to say?
Yep.
And then you were ahead all season. I think me and Timmy pretty much wrote you off when you dropped to second or third.
When I heard he had no trades, that was the biggest stress for me.
Yeah, Timmy, mate, you had no faith in me, mate.
You came back, though. Yeah,
you came back and we were rooting for you. But we pretty much wrote you off then, and then you came back, and then you're hot favourite to win. But that last week, talk us through that last week, because that's devastating.
It's like a round from hell. Everyone one by one out. Suspensions. Mate, can't explain it.
21st, like that's an amazing achievement.
Yeah,
but considering where you were, hello.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, so considering where you were, like it is a big kick in the guts. How would you change things next year, or do you think Supercoach just needs to change something about that? Because that last week was.
For sure, yeah. No matter how much you prepared for that round, no one's ready for a match resting. They should have done it like the bye rounds, like 13. It was exactly like a bye round. Head-to-head finished round 26, and the reason was because of the resting. They know what happened, and then, look what happened at 27.
That's probably an ideal way to go moving forward. It sucks that you have to be the guinea pig.
You can't end overall in 26. All right, then just do it like one of the major buy rounds.
Yeah. I like that.
13.
I like that concept as well. Well, man, yeah, commiserations, and but more to the point, it's a massive season. I think you should be stoked with the fact that you at least finished with the last digit being a 1, so you can say 21st. Sounds nicer than 22nd or 23rd.
Yeah.
So, yeah. And, everyone's going to remember you were that bloke up top for a long way. And so, yeah, much respect to your brother. And, there's always next year, bro. I think if you have another good... Yeah, you'll have another good crack at it, because this year will be pretty similar to next year. And,
You got it down packed.
Yep. Congratulations, brother.
No, you're a champion. Thanks a lot.
No, thank.
Stressful, but yeah, like you said, it was a kick in the guts at the end.
Yeah. I would have hated to be in your shoes as well. Like, it is what it is, and it's something I don't think I think Supercoach could never really predict, especially even myself. With like, I have nothing to do with the decision making, obviously, but just looking at the season, just how competitive it was, I thought there was going to be very little chance that many sides were going to be able to rest as we were getting, throughout the year. But then just the way it fell with certain teams, knowing where they were at, they were able to do it. Then there was mass injuries, there was mass suspensions. Yeah, it was hectic.
Yeah. There's a lot of things. Like, I have a mate of mine that gives me 100 predictions a week. He gets 1 or 2 right. He tells me, see, you didn't give me no credit.
We had an amazing season, man. Do you have anything to the winner? What's your feelings towards a winner?
Good on him. Congratulations. I'm happy that he won it, not number 8.
yeah, there were.
Everyone rooted him off. Good on him. He came out of nowhere the last 2 rounds.
I did look at it, and he was a kind of guy who did time it perfectly and did plan for these weeks, whereas the other guys around you, there were some guys you didn't want to win. And
they weren't there by skill, they were there by luck. He was there, mate. He deserves it.
Yeah, no
one deserves it as much as me. I know I'm a bit eager at the moment, but mate, we copped it at the end. It is what it is.
No, it's a harsh ending, but it's good you can cop it on the chin. Like, $50,000 doesn't fall out of your hand just like that every day. But
way to rub it in.
Yeah.
My mate was doing too, mate. I was taking 15 of my mate to Thailand with that money.
Oh no!
That was doing.
Well, thanks for coming on the show, and we hope to speak to you next year in regards to Supercoach, because regardless, you still prove to everyone that you're an elite Supercoacher, and I'm sure you can do it again considering how your season's gone.
Yeah, hopefully, mate. Thanks for the call.
No, thank you.
Thanks for coming on, mate.
So, mate.
All right, Jim. See you, buddy.
Well, there we go. 21st Wolfpac. I told you it was a surprise, and he is, what a kick in the guts, eh?
Yeah, it's exactly that. I mean, you kind of had a feeling we kind of knew who in the top 10 had players, and we knew that number-wise he was struggling. But, yeah, it's still like you lead pretty much the whole way and then just get stuffed by mass resting. It's not like you made a wrong decision in kind of your trades or anything. It was because your whole team got rested.
You know what? Numbnuts, the whatever Numbnuts won, I think his name was Numbnuts. It was Numbnuts.
That's the team name.
But he had a perfect season. Like, he timed it perfectly. He had trades for the end. There was a guy who was hot favourite in 8th who used all 3 trades on Brian Kelly.
It was Titans players, wasn't it?
Brian Kelly.
Tino and AJ Brimson.
AJ Brimson and Tino. I think Tino and AJ were good trades, but
he should have went Manly players.
He should have went Manly players, man. He would have won.
I'm surprised he went all in just with the one.
Well, I think that's the play. You target one of them open games that have nothing riding on them, as we saw in the Manly game.
Yeah, I mean, if you got it right, I would have thought of hedging my bets a little bit, trying to pick the star there, the star there, and the star there.
Seems like a waste of trades now, eh? Like, he could have.
It's a lot easier in hindsight.
Yeah, but maybe he knew, like, this person had a Manly player and no one really loaded up. He needed Kieran Foran. That's who he needed to get.
That was hectic. Hey?
Imagine that. But yeah, shout out to Wolfpac. What a legend for coming on after that. Like, if I was him, I wouldn't want to. I wouldn't want to
about Supercoach.
Yeah, exactly. But yeah, that brings us on to our overall group champion, Blue Reddos, who's the coach of Tessa. She was leading halfway through the season, so congrats to her. She's won this Supercoach champion ring, so hit us up for that.
It's sparkling really nicely in the light as well.
It is very nice. Do you want to go on to the awards?
Yeah, I wouldn't mind doing that.
Okay, I'm ready.
Are you going to crack open?
I would love to. I just don't have a device. I'm trying to use my keys.
Here.
What are you going to use?
He's going to use... don't use your teeth.
Oh, you're hardcore. Thank you.
Brandon Savage, everyone.
Would you like one?
No, I'm okay. I had 1,000 beers on Friday. I went to a wedding, and I don't want one.
No. Can you crack another, please?
Yeah. Can we use your teeth?
Use the other side this time, just to make it even.
I actually think
You've got a thing, don't you?
no, I don't.
Oh, dude, The way he came in hot at it, then I thought there was something was going to snap off the show.
Yeah, no, I had 1,000 beers on Friday. Got an Uber home, slept the whole way home. Uber driver had to wake me up, and next morning I spewed in a gift bag. I was sleeping in the spare room. There was a gift bag next to the bed because my daughter's birthday. I took the contents out of the bag, spewed in the bag. I thought I was a bloody champion. Got away with this one, just spewing in bed. Went straight back to sleep. Woke up in the morning. It all leaked all over the carpet and all over the clothes underneath it. So
I was hoping you were going to say your missus grabbed it on the way out, took it to like a baby's christening or something. There's some sort of like what do they do?
bar mitzvahs.
They do table Tupperware parties and stuff. Yeah, it just gave like a.
We had our daughter's birthday party on the Saturday, so there was a few drinks there. I could not touch alcohol. I don't know till this Friday, probably Friday I'll drink another one, but at the moment I can't. Let's start off with Hooker of the Year awards. You hear that cheers. You're welcome to take your headphones off now if you like. Don't put it around there. So Hooker of the Year. I will start with you, Jake. Who's your Hooker of the Year?
Well, it's someone I didn't have all year. And it's a pretty unanimous decision, I think, with this player. Kind of was the main reason I didn't go too good, and it's Harry Grant. He's my selection.
Right. Weird one to never have the whole season, but in saying that, I've got one of my own that's coming up a bit later. Okay, yep.
I'm going Harry Grant also. Damien Cook was the second best hooker all year, but he never hurt you not to have. There was Reid Marnie at the start of the year. Cody Nikorima was a very surprising one, but I think Harry Grant was just the clear standout. And
I think the winner had Cody Nikorima in there.
Yeah, yeah, he did. And turned up in the last week, which proved crucial for him. Yeah. Timmy?
Yeah, I'm going to go with Harry as well. I think it's annoying picking him because I think he underwhelmed for what we would like for a lot of us. Even though he still was the best, he
was underwhelming, but at the same time, he was also...
had some big ones that you kind of like, if you didn't get him, it was annoying.
The big ones.
140s, 120s, and then there was a few like smaller ones, but there was a season like that where you just had like some players just really underperformed from my side, particularly all year.
Yeah, and Harry Grant was a clear favourite by the watchers on Instagram. 414 votes to Harry. The next best was 77 votes went to Jeremy Marshall-King, who I think had an amazing season as well.
If he had kicked on around that bye period and been a good option for people where it looked like he was going to be.
He could have not matched it, but I think he could have had a similar average.
We probably would have picked him just on the fact of
being different.
On the fact of, he doesn't have the reputation.
Yeah, that's it. Blake Brayley also a mention. On to the front row of the year. I think I'll start off here because I spoke about it a lot during the season. It's got to be AFB for me. Just came onto the scene, played every single game all season except that last game. And from when I bought him in round 5 or 6, I think he scored like
Wasn't
9.
that early in the year?
Yeah.
Because, it's funny how round 5 or 6 at that point seems kind of deep in the season. We've got into the nitty-gritty, so it felt like it was late in the year.
No, it wasn't. So it was 5. It might have been 7. It was when the Tigers...
that still surprises me.
It was when the Tigers had their bye. From then, he scored 9 tries and had, I think, a try assist or 2.
Pretty good minutes.
He just averaged crazy from there and stayed above. I remember talking, he was 730k. Do we sell him for his value because he's going to go back down? But you just couldn't because he was going so well. Jake, your turn.
AFB was great, but I think Tino, I think he ended up being the highest averaging front rower at the end. And
interesting.
He was kind of one that nobody had as well. He was kind of always
except
priced
for me
out
at the start of the year when he did nothing.
Yeah, well, that's been Tino for the last couple of years. He starts slow, and then as soon as you get a couple months out of Origin, he kicks on, and then he was putting up massive scores. Like not quite AFB, but he was scoring. I think he scored like 3 tries in a row as well. So it's going to be difficult to start.
And I think towards the end of the season as well, this last part of the season, like 90 points in every game, pretty much. Timmy, who's your vote for front row of the year?
I'm just going to go with this because this is what was in my mind. It's a little bit different. Payne Haas. He's a guy that I haven't had all year. This is one I think, "Ooh, what are you doing? That's your Harry Grant. He's probably someone that really hurt me, I think, for a long part of the year. Just not having him and going with other alternatives. So if I had just started with him, I think it would have made me make less mistakes elsewhere as well.
Would have made you panic a bit less.
Yeah.
Well, the punters don't agree with you.
AFB, I see that.
Tino and Payne Haas had one vote between them, 128 votes to 129. Payne Haas got him by one vote, and 328 votes went to Adam Fanil-Blake.
Wow.
So I think there's no arguing there, but...
Yeah, so I could have changed my answer. When you said you got him that for round 5, I had in my head that he was started very slow for quite period longer than that.
Yeah.
So in that case, AFB.
There you go.
But I'm wanting to be different.
No, you've got to be different in these. The last vote comes down to the punter, and if it's a blowout like that, it'll always go to that. But I think at the start of the year, a lot of us were like, okay, you can bypass the points in front row and go heavy elsewhere. This year, we saw a bit of a shift, didn't we? Because I think the front row was pretty crucial towards every point of the season.
I reckon that's partly to do with the fact that second row didn't really kick on too much as well.
Yeah, I saw myself late on in the season wanting players like Tohu, Horsburgh in my second row, Tarpanay. I was able to shift. I was able to shift them up, and I said when there was a question a couple of weeks ago, who were the top 3 second rowers? I put Tino in there, and I think I'd still stick with that was probably the right thing to say.
I reckon as watching footy, I reckon he was the best all year.
Oh,
Even
yeah.
when I had him at the start of the year, he was playing massive minutes. He was making nearly every tackle for his side. He just wasn't accruing attacking stats. Yeah. So, but for what he does, I reckon he's just hands down a boost.
Second rower of the year, Timmy.
Fafita. I'm going to get that one in first, so I don't have to. You can all pick it as well. I don't think you need to go delving into the pockets, but yeah, he was so impressive this year. He's got such great reputation. He's always got great expectation. He's been, one of those guys that let us down a bit in the past, like in previous years where you kind of want more from him. He does not really get involved. People say, "Oh, you're standing out there." This year, he flipped the script. He was in everything. He was working. He was tackling. He was looking for runs, and then there were plays designed around him, tipping it onto Camp Pereira. He was so good this year.
Yeah,
so good.
Yeah, he was. I think the fact that both Firma got injured at the start of the year meant Fafita went to the left and was partnered with Kieran Foran, and majority of teams like attacking on their left side. So I think that's why. I think an honourable mention to Jermaine Hopgood.
Oh, 100%.
The fact that we got him as a cheapie, and a lot of people traded him out when we thought he was capped out, but then everyone brought him back in.
I kept him all year. I'd like to. He's very loyal to that guy, and I think I'll probably have him next year too. Probably don't know if he'd start with him. We'll have to look at that, but.
I've got some prices of some players, and we can delve into that at the end of the show.
But when you just want a bloke to just get points on the board for you, he's that guy that's not going to muck around. Yeah,
I'd have him any day over Cameron Murray.
Upside
at the moment
and workload.
Dave Fafita. I think he was crucial. Went through that period where he just turned up every week for 6 or 7 weeks. And even after that, his low score was 57. Ridiculous. And the punters agree, 415 votes to David Fafita. The next best was 148 to Jermaine Hopgood, and the next best after that was 32 votes to Britton Nickera.
Race.
Were there any others? No one voted for any others, so it really proves to you how that position was so condensed this year.
And I mean, like you kind of mentioned with the front rowers, there was a lot of dual front row, second rowers that you could have included as a second rower, but we know him as a front rower, like Horse, Tino, but really we're kind of counting them as front rowers.
Yeah.
I think Tino could have given that position a shake too.
For sure.
Halfback of the year. This
is a tough one.
This is very tough. I'll start with you, Jake.
I mean, the shark in me is going to say Nico Hines. I think he was probably the most consistent throughout the entire year. I know he missed a pretty crucial game, 2 weeks ago in terms of Supercoach, but for the entirety of the year, I think he was pretty consistent. I think he ended up being the highest average, so I'll back a shark in this one and go Nico. But there's probably a clear top three that you can go either way.
All right. Well, the Panther in me is going to admit when his boy wasn't the best.
Oh.
Cleary had a good season, always plays good, never has really a bad game. But I think just playing out of his skin, Sean Johnson, been electric, exciting, scoring massive Supercoach points. I think the good thing about him, it took a while for people to get onto him. For me, I jumped on him earlier than a lot of people, but it was, only 2 years ago that he let people down when everyone jumped on him in the back end of the period for the buy. So I think people were a bit reluctant, sort of being let down by having SJ in their side.
Well, you said to me when you bought him, you were like, wouldn't it be funny if the reason I won 2 years ago was going DC instead of SJ? This time around, I go SJ. Instead, you finished 13,000th. But
yeah, that was my good move, though, to be fair.
It wasn't because of Sean Johnson.
Yeah, that was my good move. So
Yeah,
that was
that's
one
it.
thing I got right. And I think for what he's been able to do to get the Wars up the Wars from second last.
Yeah, they were down there last year.
Pretty close, yeah. And they're actually playing really good footy. The forwards are doing their thing. They got a pretty good bench coming on doing their thing. The backs are electric and exciting. The crowd are just like doing everything twice as good as the team are. The crowd are just bringing NRL, like putting it on the map.
I think everybody in that side played out of their skin. It wasn't just SJ, but you've got to have a premier halfback to do well in this competition. And SJ it's exactly why Andrew Webster went with SJ. I know at the start of the year was like, are they going to play Tamari Martin and Luke Metcalf? Because is SJ done?
Well, it could have been like that Milford factor, hey, just where he's sort of the second backup older guy, but I think SJ wasn't quite at that stage.
Exactly, and he proved himself. He is a premier half. My vote is Nicho Hynes. He played 20 games, averaged 95, compared to Sean Johnson, who averaged 77.7. A lot of Sean Johnson's bigger scores were before everybody got onto him. Yes, he did get them bigger scores when people did jump onto him, but Nicho was still matching that and doing better. I think we just don't talk about Nicho as the great purchase he was, the great super.
Because we know what he can do and expect it.
Exactly.
He did the same thing last year.
Yeah.
Exactly. And like a 3-round average of 96.7, nobody was talking about him. It's absolutely crazy. Didn't even goal kick on the weekend, 127. He's a serious Supercoach player, and he topped the point scoring for the year in only 20 games.
Is that right?
Yep.
Wow.
The next best was Jermaine Asako, then Clint Gutherson, Dave Feeder, Sean Johnson, Jermaine Hopgood, Scott Drinkwater, Nathan Cleary, Daly Chair Evans in at 9th, and then Britt Nicker at 10th. So, like, reading that out, you probably wouldn't guess that, but you're not surprised because you know exactly what they've done. Nico's mine, but the punters, Sean Johnson got 311 votes compared to Nico's 187. So we have
Up the was.
So we have a dead heat, and as I said before,
Viewers decide.
Nico with 187 votes, Cleary with 96, Cherry Evans with 9. I think notable mention to Cherry for the last.
He finished so well. Like if you were on him at the end,
I think he always does. I think Cherry Evans is someone we just all need to put in our little back pocket.
it worked a couple of years ago, didn't it, Tim?
I think but he's had proven history even before that running.
And that's why you got him.
Yes, at this time of year. So chuck him in your back pocket, Cherry Evans, this time of year.
Supercoach 5'8" of the year.
Cool.
This one is a landslide.
Yeah, I think I know what the result's going to be.
Do you want to say it at the same time?
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
Ponga.
Kalen Ponga. Oh,
What did you say, Kalen
I said
Ponga?
Ponga, yeah.
yeah, you said Ponga. So
Yeah.
I was the one
You
that
said
fucked up.
Kalen Ponga.
And the punters agree. 521 votes to Ponga. The next best was 44.
To have in that position, but ironically, he was doing pretty crap at 5'8". But then when
Yeah.
he played fullback, he was doing good for us in Supercoach. We put him at
Once he
5'8".
went to fullback, he was crucial to have, wasn't he? And he was the difference between me having a good season and a bad season. And I think there's the proof.
It's
If
so
you-
shocking too. Do you like? I feel like he was like playing on like treading on eggshells. Like while everyone worried about him getting the head knock, and I thought one more head knock, he probably could retire him. I think he just.
well,
sort
they
of
were
went,
talking about it. They were like, "Is that Kalen Ponga's
I
last
think he
game?"
just went. Let's go for it. If it happens, it happens. There's no point sort of.
Well, I think also
not even
playing,
fuck spies. Let's get done.
playing at fullback, everybody knows like less tackles within the line. Like it was a stupid move putting him in the front line to begin with.
If you balance the squad and keep trying to think, Nocky Miller, I think did have a lot to offer. He's very raw and big green in rugby league, but
compared to Kalen Ponga at the back,
yeah.
There's no coincidence. As soon as Pong went to fullback, they've won 9 in a row.
I think they were probably just hoping they could get him to do just as good a sort of thing, from 5'8" as well. But
Weird year for 5'8". It's going to be interesting next year. I think Dylan Brown
Really grow into himself
looks like he's going to
at that
kick
age.
into him to himself. But Cameron Munster, Cody Walker, are we seeing the end to him as a Supercoach player? Just slowing down that tad.
No,
No, I thought. I mean,
he'll get
early
better.
on he was really good.
Oh, he was very good. Yeah.
Kind of petered off at the end when South.
He's old as, but I reckon you'll see the best footy towards. He'll retire and you'll be like, you could go another bloody
Yeah, that's it.
5.
Centre of the year. I'll start with you, Timmy.
Centre of the year, centre wing, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I'm going to go Jermaine Azarko.
I think that's perfectly logical one.
Reasonable.
Yeah, I'm backing you, Timmy. I think the fact that no one had him at the start and he was a cheapie, and then all of a sudden he's 800k banging out tons every week.
And he did it
And
all
he's still-
season.
He did it for the whole year.
Fizzled off
Just
for a
to
little
play-
bit where he looked like he could have been a sell. When
Tavare was his centre. That's what.
that's what when that
Yeah.
point you're like, maybe get rid of him here, but it still finished well. Great season by him.
Awesome season. Finished the second top Supercoach
Yeah.
point scorer of the year. And at the start of the year, everyone was saying, can he keep it up? Well, yes, he
And
did.
it wasn't just like he was on the back end of like good things happening. He was finishing it. And he looked so athletic and yeah, good on him.
Yeah, good on him.
Having all that media like you're a shit cunt. Like everyone basically the last couple of years, but now what a fucking legend.
Yeah, that's it. I voted Greg Marju just because I think he was a good thing all year as well, but I can't complain with Azarko. And the punters agree, 63%, 375 votes. The next best was DWZ at 157 votes. Pretty good. Brian To'o, 18 votes. CNK, 42 votes.
Nice you
and
mentioned?
I didn't put him in the poll.
He should have been in there.
Yeah, I've fucked up a few times with that.
That's fine. That's on the others to put other, I guess, and it's
So in the fullback of the year awards, I put Tedesco, Walsh, Ponga, and Latrell.
Oh, you're missing a pretty important one there.
I was missing an important two, Drinkwater and Gutherson. So I've redone that one, and let's go to that. So the Supercoach fullback of the year.
It's giving me a bit of stress.
This one is very close, and I voted for the person that has the least votes on the fan.
Can you go
votes.
Kalen Ponga?
You can. And he's
But I
won.
prefer
He's won
these
by the
six.
punters.
Oh.
He has 205 votes by the punters. I shouldn't have revealed that, but
It feels cheating putting him in both, like having him for both, but you can have him for both, so depending on.
he
Well,
deserves
I mean, the
it.
Dally M team of the year, they can't be in two positions.
So let's not give
Although
him
in
two
saying that,
awards.
he was not going to get picked as a 5'8" of the year, is he?
Well, I guess it'd be ideal to have him in 5'8" for Supercoach. It'd give you more freedom. So I reckon let's just go the next guy along and give him the award.
Okay,
Are we going to do our votes? Or?
you will do our votes.
Okay.
My vote is Clint Gutherson. He's the third highest scorer of the year, and I think he was crucial to have throughout that middle period. I think if you didn't have him, you were struggling.
Guilty, yeah.
Um,
I don't want to admit it.
William Kennedy.
Whereas a lot of people went without Scott Drinkwater, although you see all the top 10 had Scott Drinkwater at the end, so maybe you couldn't go without him. And Reece Walsh, I think it was fine to go without him.
I'm going to go Reece Walsh. I reckon he was real consistent for a long period, just pumping out 100.
And he still was when he come back, but I think
couple
the
of 50s
availability,
against the bigger squads.
the availability ruins it for him.
Yeah, I think the fact he missed some pretty crucial games just after Origin,
Yeah.
that's kind of. I think Drinkwater. I think he was key to have ever since he kind of come back from his suspension. I think Mikey never shuts up about it, but I think I back him there. That Drinkwater.
A shout out to Mikey, who I put shit on sort of early in the year, halfway through the year, for being outside the top 5,000.
You put 2 and 2 together today and realised
That
he started doing well when you started putting shit on him.
The Supercoach guys, I was just real hard on Mikey in the chat, 'cause I know how much Mikey cares. Like, he's very passionate. So just like really like letting him know he's outside the top 5K, I really cemented that. Chucked myself into 13,300, and he finished 1,000 and something.
1,002.
So good on him.
Got the top 1,000.
So yeah,
Good on him, considering like
I could be his assistant coach. Yeah, it might be what he needs, just a bit of negativity
remember-
just throughout the year.
Rev up.
I remember he said to me at the start of the season, "Oh, I'm going to catch up to you," and I'm like, "You're dreaming."
Yeah, I was
And
thinking he was
he caught up to me and
you.
did better. So, yeah, the punters agree. Scott Drinkwater, 158 votes. Walsh, 118. Gutson, 28. Ponga had 205 votes. So he would have been the winner. But if we're ruling him out, Scott Drinkwater with Jake's vote and the fans' vote gets the
With an
chocolates.
asterisk next to it.
But yeah, Ponga is the legit winner.
Is it time to message Cam or?
We can message him, yes.
Yeah, message Cam. Let him know just to make his way in.
Cheapie of the year first.
You can go first.
Well, Cheapie of the year, it's a bit different. It's
quite a
different to Rookie of the Year, isn't it? Well, Cheapie of the year. Well, what's Cheapie? Like, is Hopgood Cheapie, or is he mid?
No, he would have been cheap. He was under 300k.
Like him, AKP was pretty good as well. Like if you held on to, it was a bit up and down. Yeah, you kind of don't want to ride that.
He was never a cheapie that you were going to play.
Buller was pretty season defining. I think everyone got on Hopgood.
Yeah.
It wasn't that big of a thing, but Buller, I didn't get on him, and it was a big deal.
Like we missed out on about 400k.
He scored more than the guys that we were trying to save the position for, and he made a whole bunch of money. So I'm going to say Buller.
My vote is Buller because Preston, Hopgood, everyone had a chance to jump on, 3 rounds to jump on before their price rises hit. So everybody was able to get them. Buller was season defining. And I remember Will coming in here every week saying, can we buy him at 500k? Whereas Hopgood, yeah, you 100% did that, but Buller was scaring people.
Tigers, a fullback, yeah.
And
not a good attack.
Jermaine Hopgood won. Who did you vote?
No, I would have gone Buller. I think, like you mentioned,
Yeah, so-
the fact that it was kind of a player that not everyone got on, and it was
Yeah.
kind of no, we shouldn't, because but in the end it was 400k we missed out on, where everyone was bringing Hopgood in as a gun.
He didn't
So
need
he-
for
he
him
was
to
a
be
cheapie
Rookie of the
player.
Year. He
That's
didn't
it.
need to be a season-long play. Like, it was nice that Hopgood was someone you could hold, but for Buller to do what he did in that short amount of time made different, like, unique cash that others weren't making.
Hopgood got 348 votes, which is understandable. Jacob Preston got 101 votes, and Dream Buller got 93 votes. I think.
Speaking about Dream, have you messaged a Dream boat come in yet, or what?
He's coming in.
He's probably shy too. This is why he's such a dreamboat. Because the thing is, the award he's going to be presenting, we've got Cam, the dreamboat of DM podcast. Like, I would take him home to mum, eh? Like, I would just dead set be like, all right, mum, this is it. This is the one. He's beautiful. And I don't even swing that way. But, yeah, he's great. He's so beautiful. Yeah, questionable. Yeah, no, he's beautiful. I'm really excited about him presenting the award. The thing is, some of the guys that we're going to nominate are like humble about their hotness. Some of them are a bit flamboyant and know they're hot. You know what I mean?
You seem to really love this question, Timmy.
I love the hot player
So
thing.
this award is for the hottest player of the year, and I think nothing screams hot as well as when someone's playing well, they're extra hot. When their on-field performance is doing well, they're extra hot. And my vote goes to Kalen Ponga. I think if he didn't wear a headgear, he'd be massive, massive points. But Kalen Ponga,
He's got a lot of dumb tattoos, I think, Kalen.
I love him.
But Sav's got a lot of dumb.
Yeah,
Sav's almost
Sav's
looks like he's got
the
the exact same tattoos that Kalen Ponga does.
Kalen
He goes
Ponga
and
copy.
matches them.
Kalen Ponga copied me. Who have you got, Jake?
I can't go past Nico. Just being a Sharks fan, that adds extra brownie points for him.
Timmy?
Yeah, Reese is a dreamboat, but just the thing is about Reese, the cockiness. Like, I like a shy guy. You know what I mean? We all like a shy guy.
Humble.
Yep. So I'm going to go Manu. Joey Manu just goes about his thing.
Joey
A
Manu.
little bit, he gets his face absolutely bashed in by Latrell a couple of seasons ago. Doesn't miss a beat. Face is still on point. That's who I'm going. Now, can we get the dreamboat in? I want to sort of show him off.
We're waiting for him. Do you want to go out and...
Yeah, I'll go get him.
Who do you think's going to take out this award?
Well, who are some of the other less obvious options that people have commented in?
Nico Hines? Cameron Murray?
What about some of the less obvious ones? Savs? 'Cause there was a few.
Gerbo.
Yeah, Gerbo.
We had a vote for Gerbo.
Yeah,
We had a vote for Josh Maguire.
yeah, okay. Don't know if he was
All
eligible,
right.
but
He's gonna.
Which microphone am I on?
You're taking this spot, so you've got to read out who gets this award.
I'm the boys looking dapper today, by the way.
Oh, thank you. You can sit
All
down.
right.
Timmy, you want to sit down?
Do you think I look nicer than Savs? Or?
I think you both look fantastic. Your thing's going all over the place. So how are we rating them out? Oh. So we have, this is the award for...
The hottest player in Supercoach.
the hottest player in Supercoach. So coming in at number 4, we have Cam Murray.
Quasimodo.
Actually, do we have predictions on number 1? Or do you already know the results?
I think I've seen it.
I think I might. No,
All right, what's the predictions?
I think it's Reese.
I think it's a Reese one.
I think he's a
Nicho.
real... The people...
It's the eyes. I think that gives.
Yeah, it's... People are very superficial. They don't look deeper inside.
Okay.
They see what's on the outside and they go, I'll take that.
Yeah.
Look a little bit further, find yourself a Joey Manu or a Cam.
Oh, Joey Manu.
Shy guys.
Yeah. I've already messed this up, but number 4 was actually Nico Hines.
Oh.
Number 3 was Cam Murray. Number 2, Kalen Ponga. Number 1, Reece Walsh.
Reese Walsh.
Who would your vote be, Cam?
Look, I think everyone's undervalued Nico Hines. I think the luscious locks. Yeah, I think that kind of is what should do it for him.
You're just saying that because he comes in here all the time. You got to be on good terms with him, eh?
He's a nice guy, and it's about the looks. It's about the whole package. See, I don't.
Congratulations
think it's
to
just the physical.
on your head-to-head. This is
Oh yes,
the head-to-head champion of the Cam family.
The Muller Supercoach competition. So yeah, thanks to these guys.
Thanks for having us in here,
helping me
brother,
out.
and thanks for
Shout out
presenting.
family for got the win.
Yes.
All right, thanks for having me.
See you at Christmas.
We're going to cut a bit of that up, eh? That was very messy.
I'm a messy guy.
Oh, Jesus. This seat feels so warm.
Sniff it.
All right. That's Cam. Thanks for Cam for coming on.
Probably our most famous guest.
Yeah.
Most popular.
Yeah, so we've got a few more awards and then we'll wrap it up. Most improved player of 2023. Let's power through these because we don't have much
Supercoach
time.
player?
Yeah.
Jermaine Zarko.
Yep.
Just based on, I guess, the last previous years, I reckon Sean Johnson.
Sean,
I mean, he's done it in the past, but just factoring in
See where you're going.
what he was last year, like he's improved.
I vote Azarko just because crazy. You could put any Warriors player, to be honest. But Sean Johnson has won with 367 votes. Next vote was Chance with 92. Kalen Ponga I put in there over. I didn't even put Azarko in the poll, so I've messed up badly there.
fine.
Biggest regression of
You're working
2023.
throughout the day. He's done very well to
Yeah.
create this pod while doing a 9 to 5. So thank you. Savage
Yes,
feel hard.
very good.
And being a father and husband.
Yeah, you're juggling a lot, brother.
And being an absolute sick cunt.
Yeah, hey, that's the most important part, bro.
Relatable.
Biggest regression of 2023.
Tim Moody.
That's a good one.
Yeah, that was a good one. That was a good joke.
Yeah. Other than that, player wise, Can I come back?
While you think, I think Angus Crichton.
Yeah.
But I mean, to his credit, he kind of didn't really start any games.
But yeah, just
I
felt.
mean, it's still part of the regression, really, when you're factoring in.
Yeah.
I've gone Angus too.
Yeah. But if I'm to add someone now, I guess has played the whole year. I think IPAP.
Yeah.
IPAP, I think, was the one player that
Perhaps a good one.
new club, I guess. But
I've gone Angus.
I'm stuck here. I'd agree with both of those. I can't think of anyone else that's standing out.
Yeah, just with Angus, like he went down so much, and there was just never much room to
Fit him into your side. I'll pay that. He doesn't get too many, but that's a good one.
he's going to be proud of that one.
That's a good one.
I'm not. I said at the start of the season, let's not buy into the rumours, but let's be honest. When we see all these rumours, you always paint that player with the rumour, like Latrell and his cows. That's I'm not.
I don't know
I'm
the
not
Latrell and the cow rumor, but this is one I want to hear.
I don't know.
off air.
I don't know any truth. I don't.
Don't. It's too big of a deal. He'll probably smash me, bro. If you tell me this.
Angus wins with 188. IPAP was close with 184. So Angus wins that one. But that leads us to the next question. Who is going to have the biggest bounce back here in 2024? I didn't put the exact same players here because we can talk about it. It really depends with Angus whether he's going to have a bounce back. I don't think IPAP does. I think he's
locked in being like that for the Tigers. I think.
Yeah.
I got my guy. Risky, but Turbo.
It's a weird. Turbo, he didn't have a bad year for the. I mean, he played minimal games.
Turbo
but he
averaged
still
like
averaged
80.
84 or something.
Yeah.
So he didn't have a bad year.
But like bounce back,
Stay on the field longer and be more relevant. For
I think a
Supercoach.
lot of people.
Okay.
I think a lot of people are going to be like, it's the looks with him. It's not what he's actually scoring because, like, what he's actually scoring is half of what he can do when he's fully fit. I'm going to go Luke Brooks. I know Luke Brooks, Supercoach wise, he's never really been relevant.
But he's always been decent, but
yeah, he's always been decent. And I wouldn't say this year was a disaster Supercoach wise for him, but I think just in that Manly side, it's what he's needed. And I think he could become Supercoach relevant at one point, but I think his price is just a bit too high to probably jump on at the start of the season.
Yeah, I'm leaning towards no. And that's mainly just because...
That's not a vote.
Okay, but I just think Kieran Thorne's going well over it. Well, I mean, he was never Supercoach relevant at Manly, and I think he's a better player.
Luke Brooks' game...
He's got a more running, I guess. Oh, they're different players,
and
but
like
they're not too
I get Josh
different.
Schuster wasn't that type of player either, but I think Luke Brooks is going to... I don't know.
No, I get what you mean. He's new team.
Probably be a little bit
lease of
more of an
life.
option than he was where he was.
Like
To be able
getting
to
the
play that
ball
running
deep, and he'll run the ball deep, and like instead of Schuster, like not even trying to attack the line. Like he goes deep into the line, but he always goes out the back. I think Luke Brooks will take the option where he can go short to a second rower sometimes as well. And I think he'll try and develop a combination with whoever that... Did you fart?
No, what do you mean, bro?
I thought I heard like a massive...
I'm like, if he smells something, like, you can't have direction of fart
Can't
smell.
smell anything over here.
I didn't fart.
Tommy has the most votes at 249 to 181 to Luke Brooks. First play picked in 2024.
It's got to be a halfback, either Nico or Cleary. I mean, you'll try have both, but they're going to be over 900k each, so it's going to be a tough ask for that.
I'm going to say Payne Haas. He was sort of what stuffed me this year. I think he'll start well again next year.
And he's kind of a bit, I guess, less than some of the other front rows as well.
Yeah, he's probably going to be my first guy, just so I don't muck that up again.
I do like the Payne Haas one because I think, unlike every other year, we probably do have to lock in one gun front row at least because it was just proven.
Yeah, the middle ones are garbage.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Here are some answers here. Pappy, Cleary, Pappy, Nico, Haas AFP, Brooksy, Grant, John, Pappy, Turbo, Dylan Brown, Pappy, Whiten in centre at the Rabbitohs. Interesting one. Cleary, Haas, Fafita, Pappy, Zach Labart. I like that one
with
with
Cheapie,
Peter
good
Hiku
one.
leaving. Ponga, Tino, Ponga, Walsh, Pappy. A lot of Pappies, a lot of Turbos, Coolers, a lot of Clearys. Someone said Teddy. Dom Young outside Manu. Munster, the chin. I think my first pick is going to be... We're going to have this conundrum every year, but Nico and Cleary, can you fit him in? And we'll bless this year because Nico didn't start the season. So it was a bit easier this year.
Could just be the opening draws of either side if you prefer just going one. I mean, it's going to depend on what Cheapie's for to us. And I guess Pappenhausen was mentioned there. It's going to depend on his price. I mean, he's going to get an injury discount, but how much of his injury discount?
We scored 78 and 17, so his average is...
But they're not going to base it off this year.
Yeah, but it's like an average of 50 with 2 games, so he'll get a discount for not playing that much, but won't be as much of a discount as if he averaged 50 for the whole year.
Yeah.
Mike Acevo might be very cheap too.
I looked at
no,
him.
he had a good score in the last round that he played.
His average ended up being like 40, so his price isn't going to be that great.
I don't think I want to go there anyway. But
Scarred for life.
With Dylan Brown in the side, though.
yeah,
I think
different story. I'll consider it when it comes up, but he's not my first pick. Let's put it that way.
that wraps us up for the wrap-up show. We were let in late today, so we had to really power through this one. But thanks for tuning in for the 2023 season, guys. If you're not tuning in to our off-season stuff, well, thank you for tuning in, and thank you so much. We've got a lot planned for the off-season, a lot of cricket stuff. NBL Supercoach is opening up, so...
I wouldn't go to one. So on that.
But we have a lot of good things planned, so if you do hang around, well then, thank you. But if you don't, I don't blame you.
And I guess
Catch you next year.
See you next year, where hopefully we all have a better year.
Yeah, I hope so too. I assume we'll see Jake, maybe BBL. Timmy might have a break.
Yeah, Timmy's gonna have a big
Timmy's
break.
having a break.
Big off-season.
I think Timmy, you've run some hard yards this year.
Oh mate, I take a few strong carries. You know,
Put your headgear on.
oh yeah, I'll chuck it.
One last tough carry.
Just broke that. That's okay. It's our last show for the season. We'll just chuck it into the what is it? The what do they call it when you get kicked out of a rental? Your bond.
Oh no, that's never happened to me, mate.
Yeah.
Yeah, but thank you, Timmy, for coming on this year.
Thank you, my man. You're always here every week. I think you only had 1 week off this week due to COVID.
Yeah, well, it was funny because last year when I had my daughter, I was in and out every week, and I wasn't this year.
Oh yeah, you were here.
I
I guess
solid.
shout
Help
to-
the show grow. You know, you're killing the socials. Yeah, bloody. In the years of
Captain
DM
Fantastic,
podcasts and stuff, yeah, you're getting things done, mate.
Well, getting things
Making
done, mate.
waves.
Well, we're trying to make the Supercoach experience a big thing, so we're going small steps at a time. But thank you to the podcast studio. They're going to facilitate us in the off-season, which is why the reason we're going to be doing things, because they want us to do things. They want us here because they want our brand.
I think
here,
Cam
so-
just wants to flirt with us, to be honest. I don't know, but, yeah.
But once again, thanks for the big season. It was a massive year, best year for us as a show. But at the same time, also the worst year because we couldn't Jake
Had to make some tough sacrifices throughout the year for the show to grow. Yeah,
yeah.
he has a serious job, a little bit more serious than mine, where I can sort of take it back door and get to the podcast on time.
Yeah, that's it.
But we have a good team. Like we have Hads, we have Mikey.
And
Ryan as
that's
well,
why
so-
we needed to grow the team, so it wasn't relied on one person every week coming in, which it was anyway. But like that.
When I win Supercoach next year, I'm just going to buy our own massive recording studio off my house, which will be looking over the Nepean River. I thought, would I move to Bondi or something? No.
You might need a bit more than 50 grand to do that, Timmy. But
Well, that's the plan. We want to buy a big studio. So,
Yeah, I
so
didn't think
tune
about
in
that.
the off season and we can do that. Nah, probably not. We can't do that. I'm an apprentice. I can't do that.
It's okay to dream.
All right, dream. All right, cheers for tuning in once again. And would you punch a baby in the face for money?
Nah, man.
Would you, Jake?
no.
What about a dog?
We're all great people here, mate. We're
Yeah, okay.
strong-moraled, humble people.
I wouldn't even work like a proper job for good money.
All right, cheers, guys, for tuning in.
Peace.